and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. Happy Monday.
Yep, great to be here.
It was a great weekend, beautiful weather, and it seems like we're getting into that flow.
Starting to get in a little better weather where it's not, those 100-degree days seem to be gone. Yesterday got a little warmer, but it's the cooler nights help. So
we're supposed to have a little bit of rain, crossing my fingers.
Yep, we need some rain.
There you go. We've got some good things that happened over the weekend before we start our podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great weekend. A lot of things going on with Lawton schools, and our kids are doing some great things, and it's really exciting.
Yep, and so let's talk about what they did as we ended the week last week that we didn't get to share, but the OSSBA Conference.
Yeah, this was the State School Board Association conference for school board members where they go and pick up their points or their continuing education that school board members have to get every year. So during this conference, there were a lot of things went over that were student-driven. For one, the Lawton MacArthur ROTC presented the colors at the opening ceremony, or the opening general session. We had the LRC Art, who had a display in the vendor display area that showed off some of our great artwork. And we had three presentations that were done by members, including yourself, by members during the conference. And then the conference, for the first time, had a esports tournament that was going on in the vendor area, so the adults could kind of see more what esports was. They had announcers, had it on a big screen TV. It was really awesome. And I really didn't know much about it, and I was walking through, and there it's in the finals, and it says Ike and Mac. So Lawton Eisenhower and Lawton MacArthur were playing in the championship game, and, man, it was great. It was went to 5 games. The fourth game, Eisenhower scored on the last second to tie it, and then they went to the 5th game, and Mac won the 5th game. So
it was fun.
It was great. Hey, first and second. We should have got 2 first, but hey, for Lawton to get first and second, we're very excited. So that was a great day.
Well, what was cool is that they were competitors during that event, but afterwards they went and ate together.
Yep, they were friends, got on the bus together, and went to Brahms and had ice cream is what I hear.
What a great treat. Now, we do have some things we want to share with our families because we have deadlines coming up.
Sure.
One of that is the P-EBT update that we received from the state. So will you share?
Well, what happened was, with some of the federal money that was put in, some of it went to child nutrition. And if you get free and reduced lunch, now the school really doesn't have anything to do with it, but if they just use that as a qualifier. So if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, and they're going to take that snapshot on Wednesday of this week. So if you haven't got that paperwork, get it in if you're wanting your PEBT card, or that debit card you get to make up for some of the days you miss school, but it's just a federal. It gives more money to those students for food, and it's really a good deal. So again, Lawton schools has nothing to do with it. The only thing we do is if they use our paperwork, and obviously we want those in so our students eat free. Those are something we're working really hard to collect right now, are those forms. So if you haven't turned one in, please get it in. If you don't have the form and you want to make sure you get it turned in, contact your school, because we want to make sure everybody who qualifies for that card gets it.
Absolutely. And now we're in our 2nd week of school.
Yes.
And things have been going smoother, car lines and bus, and we want to remind them about the Zonar app.
Yep, we got that Zonar app. It's for transportation on buses. We're working really hard to work the bugs out, and hey, parents have been contacting us, and it really helps because we see some things like, really, if they run a sub bus, they're supposed to put it in, log in, and put down it's a sub bus, so you're still tracking that bus. So it makes it where you can track the bus, and it doesn't look like your bus is in Fort Sill or somewhere across town. So you should be tracking the bus that's coming to pick up your child or bring your child home. So we're really working hard to make sure that's all done correctly and logged in. The time frame for those estimated times, we're really adjusting those to make sure we're trying to be within, we'd like to be within 3 minutes before and 3 minutes after, at least 5 and 5 right now, just because that bus, if you're in elementary, your bus runs a high school route, then a middle school route, then runs the elementary route. So it can be a little bit off, but we're really trying to get those times as close to perfect as we can to make it easier for you as a parent when you're dropping your child, when you're picking your child up at the bus stop, or if you walk them to the bus stop, so the timing's better. And
so we do have the instructions online for our families that if they don't have all of the apps downloaded, you can go on, check that out, and find it. It's under Zonar My View app. And then we had something really cool last Wednesday where we had all 3 student governments and leadership classes come to the LRC.
Yeah,
Share
that was kind of cool, because when we met with the principals and we did our leadership this summer, one thing I talked to them about is, hey, one thing that would be great for the LRC is if we brought our leadership teams together and talked about things that we could do as a district. Because like when I talk to them, one thing we forget sometimes is school is for the kids. And we need to listen to them, because, you know, I have a big saying I say all the time, and even when I'm speaking, but we're creating opportunities, not roadblocks. But the thing I need to make sure is what I consider an opportunity is still an opportunity. What I consider an opportunity as 58 may not be something a 17-year-old considers an opportunity. So we need that communication, or what kind of opportunities are they looking for? What can we do to provide the opportunities more that fits them than fits me or our leadership team? Not that part of our job is to guide them and control that and help them make those decisions, but still there should be some collaboration there, and that's going to be great, because there's like 60 of them there, and we'll meet. I think we're going to do it once a month. We're going to do student panels and start having some of those discussions, so I get a better feel, what do the students want? What can we do for our students to provide more opportunities?
And what's exciting is once a month, hopefully we get it all laid out, that will replace our podcast with you and the students and families can hear out.
You know, it's kind of interesting because, you know, we're at the LRC and you guys don't see it, but we have students now helping to direct and do the recording and some of those things with the podcast, so they can learn, because podcasts are really becoming, you know, when you look at TikToks and people are making a lot of money doing podcasts, directing them, doing the video work, and being the person doing the podcast across the nation. So it's a growing industry. So our students are going to learn how to do that. So again, it's great to have student help. It's always great when students help and become a part of things we're doing.
Well, that's a great segue into one of the things that we covered last week, which was an expansion of our LTAP program. And you want to remind families what LTAP is?
LTAP is Lawton Technical Applications Program. The general basis of it is we want to make sure that when our students get ready to do a career tech program, if they choose career tech their junior year, they've had a little bit of background in some certain areas or some background in different areas, so that they can make that decision. Because we talk about it all the time. You know, when I was a kid, no different than pretty much what we do now. We bus over there for a day. We get a great tour. They put it together well, but then we got to make a decision. If you choose welding and you look up and it's December and you don't like welding, what do? It becomes a problem for the career tech, becomes a problem for the high school, and a major problem for the student. So we want to help students be better prepared when they make those decisions. It also helps because it's technical and it's hands-on. A lot of times kids can see why they want to learn, and that's another thing, is to try to work on the why. They see that if they want to be a carpenter, there is some math skills. Reading directions is not as easy as it seems, so you need to work on your reading and writing and understand why that comma is there and so forth.
And as we promised our families, we were going to incorporate more videos to show what we do. So take a look.
This is the TAP program at Lawton High School. It is a welding program along with the physical science. So in here we're basically teaching them how to weld, the basics of welding, careers that they can have, and then turn around and tying it into sciences with the physical science.
Last year I'll probably be like, I'm never gonna do that. But all of a sudden I'm doing it, and I guess I'm here now. I'm doing welding. It's very scary at first, but then you know, like, you have the safety gloves on, you have your helmet, you got everything.
What do you hope to take away from this class?
A new trade, man, at a young age. Yeah, I was talking to my uncles and them about it, and they said it's a great trade to have. So I would love to learn it and get it down and master it.
These kids, they want to see it, and then they just want to do it. They're a little hesitant at first, but once they strike that arc, the reaction is just unreal, and then it's like, I want to do this. And they go to town doing it. They almost fight each other to get a hold of the welding rod.
I'm just telling you, when I seen my friend do it before me, my heart dropped, man, because like the helmets, they're automatic, so they go dark. My heart dropped. I didn't know what was going on until I got it. When I got it in my hands, man, felt like a whole different experience, man.
Who wants to try this one?
So you just No, you don't
You
have
just
to circle
go,
the motion.
you
or
just go
nothing?
real slow, making your little E motion with it. Okay? You don't have to scratch. It's not as hard as that other one. Okay? Here we go. Somebody get this. Get up here.
Oh, I thought we had a radar.
Whenever I saw a couple of my friends weld, I was like, what the heck? Okay, I guess I'm gonna do this. What if I burned my finger off or pinky? And so I did it, and I was like, oh, well, I'm fine.
The whole idea for me in this class is, one, I want them to love it, and then if they want to pursue it, then they could go on and get their certification in welding. But two, if they could come out of here with a little knowledge of it, that just makes them more employable to somebody. Say, oh, I can weld, and they might be hired. Look at there! Look at there! Look at there! A lot better.
It is totally new to me. I'm loving it though. I love the experience that I'm going to experience and all the things that I would love to get to do and make and be a part of building with my friends in this classroom.
And that's all I want them to do is come out of here, have a trade, be marketable, and be successful in life.
Okay, Mr. Hime, that was a wonderful video from our team, and Lawton High students are excited about it, and we cannot wait to see what their projects look like in the near future. So we're going to cover that as well.
Yes.
Now, do you want to give some highlights about what to expect? I know we have an inner-city game this week.
Yeah, football season's starting. A lot of, I'm an old football coach, coached football for 20-some years. Get very excited about football season. This is the first weekend. Well, we did play football last week. MacArthur won.
Eisenhower also played.
They played, and they played really a good game. I watched and listened to it, so it was a very competitive game. Very excited about that. I know they got a lot of young players, but I know they're going to get a lot better as the season goes. Excited about both of those teams. This week, Lawton High plays.
Yes, but we also have the inner-city game, too.
And the inner-city. Who's playing in that game this week?
Mac and Ike.
Mac and Ike are playing the inner-city game, and Lawton High is playing, I believe, Duncan.
There you go. We're going to have it covered, too. So be sure to follow the OSN stream.
Yes, the OSN will be covering all three games. If I got that wrong, I apologize. But the OSN will be covering all three games. And that's one thing we're going to do, too, is work to cover more sports, more student activities in general. Sometimes football gets a lot of we cover it. But we forget we got softball and volleyball going on, and I know we've got some really great things going on with those and the participation levels and girls playing hard in both of those sports. So very exciting.
And our media teams at the schools are covering that. So be sure to check out their social media events as well, and you can see those games. Now, we do have, before we end our podcast, we have a reminder about next week.
Oh, Monday, no school a week from today, Labor Day. So make sure. It is Labor Day, so that's not one of those days that people show up or start calling in and asking where the bus is. Monday is a day off. We'll be back Tuesday to do our podcast. So next week, the podcast will come out on Tuesday since there's no school on Monday.
And will you give our friends and families the email address and website?
Hey, info@lawtonps.org. info@lawtonps.org. And the website is lawtonps.org. Guys, there's a lot of that paperwork we talk about we need, because we're getting to that time where the impact aid forms go out. We need that free and reduced lunch. If you start getting the lunch bill, fill out the paperwork again. If you can get on that list to qualify for free or reduced, we can forgive those charges. Again, tell your kids, as we said before, we're going to feed them. We're not going to let kids go hungry. We know how important that is, so we'll work hard with you on that. But as far as that website and the INFO email, we look at those. A lot of our questions are answered. It helps us better connect with you as a parent and with our community to meet your needs, because that's our goal, is to meet your needs.
Absolutely. Mr. Hime, thank you so much for joining me today. And you guys, thank you as well. If you haven't liked already and subscribed to our YouTube and social media pages, please do so. Until next week, enjoy your 3-day weekend and have a wonderful week. We'll see you then.